Hopefully this does it. Oh, that did it. Look at that. Well, hi, kitty cats. With Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein finally released to theaters and and on Netflix, the typical arguments about how much science should mess with the human experience came up again. And I saw a social media post that likened transgender women to Frankenstein's monster and called us unnatural. But what exactly does unnatural even mean? What is unnatural about an experience that we see across human history that also likely improved humanity's chances of surviving this long, like to the point where we can dump on each other on social media? So today we will talk about science and religion and evolution. It turns out that being transgender is much more natural than being Christian. And again, I'd like to get us back to Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. Fortuna is absolutely waiting for us to decide the fate of the coven. So first of all, let me say hi to a few people. I absolutely see Amber Adams and Matt. Thank you guys for showing up. Hello, everybody. I see Margie and I see Brenda. So thank you so much for being here today. I'm Dr. Amethysta Herrick, not Dr. Frankenstein. Dr. Amethysta Herrick, an author and podcaster who discusses identity and gender from a scientific standpoint. You can check this link below for more information about me and the work that I do. You can see right down there in the corner, my website is purplepawclan.com, where you would be able to follow me on all the social media networks I'm on. You can also read all the articles that I have on my website. You can view my podcasts, even going back a couple of years. So if you like this content, and I have no reason to believe you won't, please consider subscribing down there at purplepawclan.com. You can get a subscription for as low as $5 a month, or you can even just sign up for my newsletter and keep, abreast of what's going on. Abreast. I also publish articles and podcasts by other contributors. So if you're interested in contributing your original work about identity and gender, then I encourage you to email me through that contact page. Once again, same link, purplepawclan.com on that website. All right, so I already got a couple of contents. It's an interesting point that Matt makes. Actually, let me just pop it up. Oh, actually, let me also go to, here we go. All right, this is an interesting point. If you've read Mary Shelley's book, Frankenstein, Matt makes the point that Frankenstein's monster ends up proving himself both smarter and more capable than the actual doctor who created him and all the townsfolk who hated him. Because yes, the monster ends up being able to do all kinds of great stuff. It's almost like if you've read the original Forrest Gump book, he goes to the moon and he meets, a bunch of people. It's a lot more than you would expect. Anyway, the point was supposed to be Frankenstein's monster ends up learning much more about humanity than Dr. Frankenstein does. So, on that point, here we go. There's a Guillermo. Oh, first of all, look at this. I've got black nail polish. I just put this on today. I feel very Elvira, and when I'm looking at myself in the camera, I'm like, ooh. I'm like Elvira, except without every single personality trait that made Elvira attractive. So, unfortunately, there's that. Thank you so much for those gifts, Matt. So there was a Guillermo del Toro movie out. I gotta admit, I haven't seen it, but I really, really want to go see it. It is apparently supposed to be a faithful rendition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. There's an interesting story behind that book, by the way. I'm not going to talk about it so much, but, it was written more as a dare than anything else. And I'm forgetting everybody. There was Lord Byron, there was Percy Shelley, and I know there was Mary Shelley, and then one other guy whose name escapes me, but he wrote a really horrible story called Varney the Vampire. That was just awful. Anyway, it was like a dare. Who could write the scariest story? And that novel came out of it, Frankenstein. Anyway, Guillermo del Toro's movie has supposedly been in the works for decades. And I can't, I can neither confirm nor deny this, but the book is about a scientist, if you don't know, who wants to create life. And it asks this age-old question. I mean, even in Mary Shelley's time, at what point should humans stop? Where does science stop? We even saw this in Jurassic Park, right? I think it was in Jurassic Park 2. What's his face? The tall guy with the glasses, Jeff Goldblum, says your scientists were so busy trying to figure out if they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. So it's an interesting point. I like this. Matt says Varney was definitely in the so bad it's good territory. Gosh, it was so... The first time I read it, it was like, this is going to be great, right? And I got to the end, and I'm like, yeah, he's a vampire. Well, he's a vampire. Whoop-de-shitty, he's a vampire. Okay, he's a vampire. It's in the title, Varney the Vampire. Then it ends with, he was a vampire. And you go, I mean, for crap's sake, I saw this coming 2 pages ago. And it's short, too. The one best thing about Varney the Vampire is that it's short. Sorry, whoever you are that wrote that, but... Anyway, I also saw a social media post, and it was kind of related. Related to the movie. A social media post. I'm not going to pull it up, because I don't even know where it is now. But it related Dr. Frankenstein to every transgender woman ever. Right? The standard stuff came up. We're playing God. We are unnatural. Unnatural, right? What exactly is natural or unnatural, though? I think it's an interesting question. So today's stream is going to cover some science, like genetics, some human history, kind of fun, implications, actually, of the theory of evolution, and then actually implications of the history of religion, for what it's worth. And then, no joke, I really want to get back to the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. Okay? I would like the break, and I really just want to know what's going to happen. What's going to happen to the coven? All right, let's talk about what does the word natural even mean? By the way, I do have a couple of things. People have said, hey, thank you so much, nice black nails and everything. That was pretty good. Did I say hello to Brenda? So Brenda says, roar, she's a monster. Totally true. I like to think of myself as the monster to a certain extent in the Lady Gaga kind of way. And so there you go. No one's going to notice. Ed Wood. Totally true. I was hoping nobody would notice I had no camera. Didn't. And then I noticed it, so oops. All right, natural. If you just look at the definition of the word, there are two major definitions. One is present in or produced by nature. Okay. And then the other one was conforming to the usual or ordinary course of nature. It's a bit vague there, right? What is the usual course of nature? This covers a lot of ground. It covers any organism that we would find in nature, and it also covers any observed operation of nature, right? So this is maybe the course of nature that was referred to. How far does this go? I mean, do we reach a point where we go, oh, we need to stop there? Because we have a lot of elements on the periodic table, right? Coming from a chemist here. We have a lot of elements on the periodic table that are predicted by atomic theory, but don't occur in nature. They're all synthetic. And I mean, it's a significant number, right? If you look at much of modern medicine, we're not finding this in nature. You're not finding a defibrillator, right? You're not finding that in nature. There are life-saving techniques that we have that in nature, if we did not have that, the organism would have died. In fact, I find it somewhat fascinating, for what it's worth. I find it kind of fascinating that it's typically a Christian trait. Like Christians kind of love to, you have a body that's had a bad accident, and Christians love to keep the body alive. But this certainly would not have happened in nature. And then they're going to call me unnatural. But hello, Miranda. The poet Miranda is here. Good to see you. So on that note, what else is natural? Does this include behavior? Like if an organism chooses to act, is that natural? Like our instincts, whatever we call it, instincts, are those natural? Is human chosen behavior, is that natural? What about societies? Are societies natural? Is their overall behavior natural? Is genocide, is that natural? Is religion, is that natural? Is regulating people out of existence through executive orders, is that natural? So on that note, many religious people will say that natural means what God did. And unfortunately, what God did is in a book, written by humans and translated over and over, revised by humans, translated over and over. And I have heard people say that unnatural only means going against my religion, not doesn't occur in nature. In this case, natural, their definition is what it says in my translation of the Bible. But nature is the domain of science. Nature is not the domain of religion. Nature is everything that we see around us, not the ethics of religion. Nature is what we're capable of observing, not what we are told to believe. Speaking of nature, it just struck me. I have my window open, and I can hear a squirrel out there just chattering. I was like, what the hell is that? Oh, that's a squirrel. But yeah, here's a point. Margie makes a great point. Cancer is natural. Well, I don't want to. Let me show this up. Cancer is natural. Right. Deleterious mutations in genetics, those happen in nature. Cyanide, we find that all over. Is plutonium natural? I thought plutonium is where we started going, But I also like this. Here we go. Natural also is dependent upon, to a certain extent, our understanding of science. So people in the Victorian period had a different view than people we do today. So there you go. Oh my goodness, you watched Satan's Guide to the Bible. I like this comment too. Nature is one of the vaguest, fuzziest terms in all of politics and shouldn't be used without clarification. Agreed. And that's why I wanted to say nature means something that's produced or present in nature. So let's look at nature, right? Why not? If we look at human history, this is something that happened in nature. We certainly observe same-sex relationships. Across human history, we see gender diversity. Does this make it natural? It would kind of seem so, because the behavior is so pervasive across history. We see it in Roman periods. We see it in Roman descriptions of other cultures. We see it even in Middle Eastern history. We see it all over the place. If you go, humans. We can look at other animal behavior. There are absolutely same-sex relationships that occur in other species. And not even necessarily just same-sex relationships, but gender role reversal. We will find so many organisms, so many animals, I want to use the word organism, so many organisms that will take on roles that would be sort of commonly expected of the other sex. So many species will favor caring for young over mixed sex relationships. They'd rather do that. User 8190 whatever says, what animal takes HRT and gets surgeries? Well, it's a good question. I mean, humans, when you're saying surgeries, are you only talking about gender affirming care, or are we also going to talk about maybe the heart surgery that your parents got? Or are we going to talk about the facial surgery that Elon Musk got? Are we going to talk about, breast implants Lauren Boebert got? And you make a good point. Only humans do end up going through, do this by choice. Amber points out that her cat just had a minor surgery. And certainly Amber chose that. The cat did not. The cat probably said, can you get me out of the box? I don't want to be here. So I don't know. I realize you're making a point, and it's not a terrible point, but stick around because I'd love to hear your viewpoints, a little bit further on. In this particular, and agreed, I hope your cat recovers quickly. I hope it was a very minor surgery. So we can look at other animals. Now, the Christian response to this is pretty typical. Well, humans are different. Humans have the breath of God. Those are just dumb animals. Animals don't know not to go against God's plan, God's intent, the religious beliefs, everything that's written in this book that we wrote and then we rewrote and then we translated it over and over and over again. Animals don't know. That might be natural to dumb animals, but it's unnatural in humans. This is a typical Christian response. So what does science say? Ooh, well, let's look at nature. How about that? We tend to think of, so let's think about genetics. Let me look at, do I have any comments that I need to answer? Oh, so plutonium is a natural product of double beta decay of uranium. Oh, true. Right. Thank you. True. I was thinking it's the other way around. Thank you. You're right. Wait, beta decay is that's a helium nucleus. Thank you. God, weren't you the physicist? You're the physicist, aren't you? I don't know anything. I'm going to shut up. Genetics. Let's talk about genetics. We tend, at least in science now, when we think about humanity, we think of genetics as like this foundation of all life, the foundation of all science, and closely related to our understanding of genetics is the theory of evolution. Because we learned this, at least I learned this like in high school, evolution occurs through random mutations that occur in genetics, right? So genetics and evolution, this is nature, this is science right there. It's all the science that we need. And conservative rhetoric absolutely adores bringing up genetics. I don't know how many people have come into a live stream of mine and said, well, it's XXXY, done. It's basic biology. Right. But we observe many other karyotypes in nature. Karyotypes meaning we're not really looking at genetics. We're looking at all of the chromosomes, their shape more than anything. So we observe many other karyotypes in nature. We've seen, if we want to look at just sex chromosomes, we've seen a single X. X0, that's called. We've seen XXY. We've seen several others. We've also seen multiple copies of allosomes, like Down syndrome is indicated by a trisomy in chromosome 21. Trisomy. Now I want to say too, observed means observed up to now. I mean, I've said this over and over again. Science doesn't know everything. Humans don't know everything. We are so likely to observe many other aspects of the human genome as we continue going on. But where did any of these come from in the first place? Nerdtorius just joined. Nerdtorius KMG. First of all, let me just say hi, because I wanted to recognize that name. Very funny. So where do these come from? So first of all, I'll say this. Margie has corrected me. Alpha decay is the helium nuclei. Beta decay is electrons being emitted from neutrons, making protons, electrons, and neutrinos and energy. Didn't think you were going to get this when you signed up, did you? Neither did I. Thank you, Margie. I appreciate that. So where do these genetic differences, where do they come from? The answer is random mutation. This just happens. It so happens that reproduction, when you're using genes, is not very, I've called it messy. There is a natural diversity in reproduction because it's not very accurate. It's not always accurate. And we see this as the mechanism behind evolution because for a lot of when you look at, lines of species, that's all it is. You ended up with a random mutation, and now instead of having fins, something ended up with fingers, and you go, oh, look at that. Now I'm bringing up evolution, right? I said conservative rhetoric loves to bring up genetics, but some religious sects say that evolution doesn't exist at all, right? I mean, we're only 100 years past the Scopes monkey trial, when in Tennessee somebody introduced a law to say, well, we don't want evolution to be there because that goes against God. And then some say that evolution doesn't apply to humans. Again, to go back, humans have the breath of God. Why would we be subject to evolution? Even Charles Darwin, if you read The Origin of the Species, he is very careful and continues, I mean, in that book, and then continues on for the rest of his career, very careful not to include humans in evolution. It was kind of crazy. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you claim that natural means only what's in the Bible, this argument obviously ends. This argument about evolution. There's no fighting that. There are some people who are just going to go, well, I'm right, and you go, done. Okay, block and move on. Why do I care about bringing religion into this discussion? There is one big reason, because I could just talk about science, but there are two big reasons actually that I want to talk about religion. One of them is that obviously religion, if you look around in the United States specifically, religion plays a huge role in public policy right now. There are many people who want to assuage religious people and still have science. There is a different, what's the word I want to use? There's a different approach that I think that some people want to take. They want to assuage religious arguments and still maintain science. Miranda says religion won't leave us the F alone. So true. So we have to discuss it. That's part of it. What I find kind of disappointing, and this is not, I'm not expressing disappointment in anybody in particular, but I have seen academic articles, academics, this isn't like something I saw in People magazine, academic journal articles, peer-reviewed journal articles about the gay gene. I saw those in like the 80s and the 90s. More recently, I've seen the transgender gene, right? I've seen a ton of, we have the tendency to see a lot about functional magnetic resonance imaging, functional magnetic resonance imaging studies that indicate that brain development is in some way gendered, affected by hormones, possibly affected by people's experience. We know for a fact that our brains develop because of our experiences. And oftentimes in the queer community, we try to grasp at this. And it's really understandable. I think it's totally understandable. Margie says she transitioned. She doesn't wear jeans anymore. Same. As soon as I had as soon as I gave myself permission to wear skirts, that's it. I wasn't going back. It's really understandable that we want to grasp at these arguments. Because if God made everything, the argument would go, then God must have made the gay gene. God must have made the transgender gene. God must have made my brain to turn out the way it is. We want these arguments because they are what I've called ethically unassailable. If you get into an argument with somebody who is Christian in particular, you can say, well, God's plan is not flawed, right? They go, well, heck no. And you go, well, now we have proof that we exist. This is supposed to be proof that we're allowed to exist. This is an indication we're allowed to exist. And this argument ultimately is really, it's just saying that the book currently being used to condemn the queer community is flawed or is incomplete. Or perhaps, if you want to be, optimistic about it, you just say, just doesn't represent all of the universe, which would be a foolish idea to begin with, right? That you have one book that represents all the universe. And aside from that, it's kind of foolish, again, because it was written down by and translated many times by humans. I'm going to throw that back out there. Dodgy Archetype says, rookie mistake, I forgot that my genes might have been corrupted by Satan. Yes, that's true. There's that possibility. I've forgotten about that. The pat answer that you're going to get from Christians, at least occasionally, is going to be, well, we observed wrong. We just didn't see it right. Right? Science observed it wrong. Science isn't getting it right. Evolution, we just, maybe God put those there to test us. I don't know. Yeah, Amber says no more pants prison. Totally true, right? I don't want that. But Miranda is a jeans and t-shirt girl most of the time. There you go. Oh, Amber, then you are. Then Amber says she's lying. She occasionally goes to pants prison. What an amazing comment that Miranda has made. And I'm going to bring this, I wish I could pop this up, but I can't. Miranda says she takes the approach that God is more creative than our concepts of them. Yeah, right. Wouldn't that make sense? You know, that we cannot contain God within our human minds, which means that we probably shouldn't be guessing at what supposedly God is saying. So, anyway, ethically unassailable. It's important that we talk about this. First, it's important I cough. Hang on. I had a migraine headache yesterday, and I'm still kind of coming back from that. Um, and part of that, believe it or not, is actually in my throat. Not really sure why that is, but I don't know. Run with me on that. So we want ethically unassailable arguments. We really do. So let's look at some other. Anyway, that was more of an aside. There's my aside. We need to talk about this, but now I'm going to go back to science. This is going to be like a direct, a screeching halt. We're going back to science. Before I do, it's been more than 20 minutes, so I will say I'm Dr. Amethysta Herrick. I am an author and a podcaster and a scientist, and here I am today talking about evolution, science, religion, and how transgender people are 100% completely natural. All right, so I have talked about a book several times. My friend Star Vartan, hopefully you remember Star, she wrote a book called The Stronger Sex. And toward the end, really way toward the end, there's a whole chapter about evolution of sorts. She has a chapter about immunity. Before we get to evolution, she does have a chapter about immunity, so our immune systems. If you look at lifespan records, and this is something that we have records now, 100 years worth of records on, lifespan records indicate that testosterone dominant bodies have less powerful immune responses than estrogen dominant bodies. I could have said that as men live shorter lives than women because they tend to get sick more often, but I want to put it, I like to be inclusive of anybody who is not testosterone or who is not hormone dominant, like their assigned sex at birth. The original thought here is that estrogen grants better immunity. Turns out that's not the case. What we end up finding is that testosterone suppresses the immune response, which is kind of a fascinating thought, because another completely unrelated observation is that the greater the testosterone level, typically a higher testosterone blood concentration leads to a greater sperm count and greater sperm motility. So you have more sperm that are able to go farther and longer for the longer period of time. This is typically an indication of greater fertility. Now, isn't that weird? You would think, well, this seems like an inverse relationship when you're talking about the survival of the human species, right? The most fertile organisms end up having the least chance of survival in, I don't know, say a pandemic that sweeps the globe. The greater the virility, the more suppressed the immune response. I like to think of this in sort of like a Spider-Man. I think it was a Spider-Man thing. With great fertility comes great fragility. I like to think of it like that. So Star asks the question. This is a fascinating point. Hang on. Because look, Margie says she hasn't gotten sick once since she got rid of testosterone 2.5 years ago. I have found that my immune system seems to be stronger, and I originally attributed that to cold showers because that was another aspect. And I wonder if that's partly because cold showers have the tendency to drop testosterone levels too. I don't know. But yeah, I agree. Like I think my immune system has gotten better, and I only just started recognizing this as I'm reading this in Star's book, which again really good book. What was the other? There were the other ones. So here's something. Margie's genes were corrupted. She became a chimera. chimera means that you have cells that have different genotypes. So she has multiple genotypes in her body. A genotype is our personal genome. So the genome is a human thing. Our genotype is a personal thing. And Margie has more than one in her body, which is a chimera, which I think is pretty dang cool. And I'm not going to kid you. I might be a little jealous of that. Maybe just a little. And here you go. Now I know why I get sick all the time and why my ex got pregnant when I just winked at her and blew her a kiss. Yeah, that is virility, my friend. Holy cats. So in her book, in Starr's book, and this was not the point of the book, right? So she asks the question, why would this happen? You know, Darwin, Charles Darwin, I bring him up. Why would, Darwin coined the phrase survival of the fittest. But I just said with great fertility comes great fragility. And actually meant immunologically, I didn't mean emotionally. Turns out emotionally happens pretty commonly too. But is this the case? Is it necessarily survival of the fittest? Here's an interesting tidbit. So to a certain extent, we know it depends on the environment, right? The fittest is supposed to mean fittest for the environment. So if you look at, if we go back to fossil records, and if you're already saying, well, fossil records are just there because God is testing us, okay, check out for a few minutes. The species Homo neanderthalensis existed with Homo sapiens, and we were on the planet at the same time. Homo neanderthalensis had stronger bones. This is stronger, thicker, denser bones. Had bigger muscles, which is usually why you end up with thicker, stronger, denser bones. They had a larger brain pan than Homo sapiens. By our measure, it's interesting. We have a couple of measures of fit. One of those metrics is the relation of brain pan size. So it's like brain pan size and volume of brain, the ratio of all the two. Fit, we generally say, well, fit. Humans are the fittest because of our huge and amazing brains. But by our measure of fit, Neanderthalensis should have survived, not Homo sapiens. They had much better bodies. They had bigger brains. Homo sapiens should not be here based on that metric. But the Earth was warming up. And you had species that adapted to that, and so they were running more quickly, and Neanderthalensis, having bigger bodies, died out, literally from hunger, sadly. They couldn't adapt to that. Then there are many good books out there. Daniel Lieberman has a couple of great books describing, what happened, why humans are here and Neanderthals are not. So anyway, so there's something. Survival of the fittest, obviously we're talking again about the environment. But in the 1970s, there was a paper that related aging, that the reason human bodies age is correlated to reduced accuracy in reproducing cells. Now, reproducing cells means you have to reproduce genetics. You have to reproduce the genes, the genetic material. And the accuracy in that diminished. So now again, the question arose. If humans are the fittest, why do we age? Doesn't that seem foolish? Like, why would our genetics break down at all? We are the fittest. Look at, we're the top of the food chain. What else do we do, right? We've got like computers. Well, this was the 1970s. We've got disco and... Okay, let me move on. Why would our genetics break down at all? Because if that didn't happen, we wouldn't die. That seems pretty dang fit for survival, doesn't it? I mean, so we wondered, why did that happen? And then there was somebody else, Fred. I'm trying to remember Fred's last name, and forgive me, Fred, I forgot it. Hi, Ava. Fred revised the theory of evolution. It's not related to an objective understanding of the survival of the fittest. because that's a strictly biological kind of thing. That's how well do you fit into the environment. It's not even necessarily survival of the fittest for the environment. It actually turns out, so here you go. So telomeric degradation is actually, so this is Matt saying this. Matt says telomeric degradation, ugh, you had to get all sciencey. We see loss of accuracy because our telomeres shrink. When we're young, our telomeres are good and long, and then when they get smaller, things have the tendency to kind of mush up a little bit. And what's interesting is that our telomeres degrade because they're regulated by other genes in our genome. And so what Matt is saying here is that we are literally coded in our genome to die. I didn't want to go all that far. I thought that seemed a little, disappointing. Right? We are actually designed to die according to our genomes. Kind of a funky bit. So anyway, theory of evolution was revised. It's not the objective survival of the fittest, like Homo neanderthalensis. It's not even necessarily survival of the fittest for the environment, as it was changing, like Homo sapiens, but that evolution favors organisms that can reproduce successfully, regardless of whether or not they are fit before or after reproduction. Because we reproduce, our telomeres start going schmutz, hoocha, 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 we cack over. We would think that would be selected against, but that's not the way evolution works. Evolution only cares. Were you fit at the time you were capable of reproducing? Who cares if you die, 3 out of 4 when you're born? Who cares if you end up having huge, crazy diseases when you're older? You were able to reproduce. It's really survival of the fertile when it comes down to it. Genes only get passed on when reproduction occurs, right? Now, there is typically a correlation. Usually you have organisms that can survive in the environment are more likely to reproduce. But that overlap isn't always complete. Characteristics, and this is one of the biggest things that we've changed about our understanding of evolution in the past, 40 years or so, is that characteristics that might make adaptation better for an organism may not affect that organism's reproduction at all. You can have the Ubermensch that Hitler was trying to make, but if that Ubermensch can't reproduce, gone. Matt makes a good point. Evolution works on populations, not individuals. I'm right on the verge of getting there. I mean, what a great segue. Let me look at some of these other what other things do we have? Oh my goodness, we have so many of these. Survival of the lucky. Mimi gets pregnant every time she visits. Jeez. This is fascinating. Here's an interesting, anecdotal piece here. Angela says, for the past 35 years of HRT, she has hardly ever gotten unwell. And if she does, it's very minor. That's fascinating. I'm curious, I wonder if this is all cool anecdotal evidence indicating, that when you reduce testosterone and pump up estrogen, that we actually become healthier as well. We don't have a lot of information on the lives of transgender women who had HRT. We don't have a lot of information on that yet. So I think we'll all be great science experiments. What else do we have? Birds. Oh, here we go. See, now this is... I'm going to have to go with this. So Margie says that you don't have to have a small brain in order to be scary smart. I don't know exactly what cytosines are for what it's worth, but like crows, we have observed crows being able to count. Like if you have like 7 people who like they lose count at about 7, but we've seen like if you have 7 guys go into a forest and only 6 come out, the crows are like, we'll wait. Like they can count, whether or not there are going to be humans there who are going to be dangerous. Oh, here we go. Sorry, hook-billed parrots. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, believe it or not, if I say anything about Latin, it's going to turn into a conversation between you and Matt again. So I think I'm going to, I won't say a thing. God was here. Disco is indeed the pinnacle of evolution, right? What else do we had? We had disco. We had, I mean, I don't know, 1970. It was Bill Gates. I don't know. What do we have? God was so kind to give his chosen people mortality, but not the immortal jellyfish. See? Proof that God hates jellyfish. just like Matt just said there. It's part of God's plan that jellyfish will be there when the sun explodes. I'm sorry, jellyfish. That's a bummer for you. If you're out there listening now, I'm sorry. There you go. I am. I have been lectured to deny my view of age as social construct with scolding about telomere shortening by trans people, young ones, go figure. I don't know, kids these days, right? Kids these days. All right. Matt brought up a really great point. Once we started considering evolution, and then again, this is not remarkably recent. I mean, we were starting to think about this, in the 80s or so, and this has come along since then, as we began considering evolution as really just a method of favoring reproduction, regardless of fitness for an environment necessarily. We started to consider other things like same-sex couples. Why are there same-sex couples in history? They can't reproduce, right? So why do we see them across human history? Now we have a bit of a thought here. Now we can say, well, it's not reproduction of the individual necessarily, although we obviously see a correlation among the fit for the environment. You have to be able to survive within the environment, but you also have to be able to reproduce. But there's also a correlation with the social environment in which each organism can reproduce. What I'm trying to say here is that because there is a social aspect to reproduction, so usually you need somebody else there in order to do it, that means there is a social aspect to evolution. And so now we started to think about things like evolutionary psychology, where there are psychological traits that helped humans survive. Because we don't necessarily see behavior or cognition as necessarily genetically encoded. So we start thinking, were there cognitive effects that might have improved humans' capability to survive? And I mean, if you think about this just from the social aspects, we can see this all over the place. If you're a jerk, you're going to get pushed to the edge of the herd. You're not going to reproduce. Your genes aren't going to be passed down no matter how awesome you are. There are a lot of people right now sitting in their mom's basement going, no, that's not true. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but it's true. But let's bring something else into this. I made a joke about incels, and that was not supposed to be the whole point, because what if we bring menopause into the picture? Humans are actually very rare for experiencing menopause. Most species do not. Most species, they can reproduce almost all the way up to the end of life, and then they're gone. But some human women, will live half their lives, literally half their lives, not being able to reproduce. You would sort of think if evolution is driven primarily by reproduction, it would select against that. But it doesn't. Women have much longer lives than their fertile periods. Fertile periods. That sounds so clinical. It's a little bummer. Matt makes a good point. Taking a small percentage of individuals out of the reproductive pool can be highly beneficial in large populations. So true. Oh, very true. So humans are rare. Humans experience menopause. Evolution may favor reproduction, but we have seen, if we look at fossil records, if we look at history, written history, if we listen to stories passed down from even oral histories, menopausal women help care for the community, right? As Matt just said, it reduces the amount of effort that the rest have to put into reproducing and frees up individuals pulled out of the pool to focus on working on the environment. So true. You have menopausal women who are caring for children. Now you have children who have a better life experience, which is pretty dang good. That's really great. It also allows, one of the way this is put is that having grandmothers, like menopausal women in the community, allows fertile women to continue reproducing. I mean, that's probably true, but I would like to think that, at least in my ideal world, really what that means is the mothers get a break. And, they experience a better life. They have a better life experience as well. So there you go. That would be nice. Let's just say that. So the point here is that a social environment that contains something like menopausal women is evolutionarily advantageous, which sounded really impressive. Really, all it means is that a social environment that has menopausal women will survive, is more likely to survive because it can reproduce more efficiently. And since reproduction drives evolution, hoocha, 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 here we are. Matt also brings up the point, one of the major evolutionary advantages humans have is that we alter our environment to suit us to a degree that no animal does. True, very true. We have the capability of altering our environments. Agreed. I guess I don't have anything else to say about that. I thought I was going to throw in a but. I don't have a but. You know what I mean. Anyway, so in this case, if you have menopausal women who are doing this, this isn't survival of the fertile. This is really survival of the progressive. These are communities that stay together and care about each other, right? They stick together. They're going to make sure that as a whole, the society survives. But let's take it one step further. Let me check some comments. So I already see here comes the Latin. Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. Jellyfish, when the sun explodes, will say, we will finally accept the sweet relief of the gift of death. Oh my gosh. I got a fly in my room. That was crazy. What I did was put my manopause. Actually, it was a man on pause, and that's what. I don't know. I thought that was going to be a better pun. Oh well. So here we go. Let's do a summary. Reproduction. So here's a summary of everything that I've covered. Reproduction is supposed to be the driving factor of evolution, or this is the way we see it now. This is the model. So any factor, biological or social, that improves the chances of reproduction is favored. This implies that evolution is not just biology, not just random mutations, but also sociology. Hi, Metal Magic. So now let me return to queer people. Right? I mean, presumably you already saw the trajectory I was taking. Same-sex couples remain capable of caring for young their whole lives. Same-sex couples don't have to worry about anything stupid like reproduction. They can focus on caring for children in the best way possible. My wife sent me an article recently, or told me about a guy that she heard on a podcast, I think it was, who was in the same, so it's a guy, had a husband, and they ended up adopting 3 children because queer couples, as it turns out, are more likely to care for children with some sort of congenital defect. Queer couples are more likely to care for them and give them good life experiences because we tend to be nicer. We focus on caring for children in the best way possible. I realize those were 2 gay men, and I am a transgender woman. Totally recognize those are different things, okay? But you can extend this to transgender people. I already reproduced, and then I transitioned. But if I transitioned before reproduction, I would still have those same nurturing and caring characteristics that I did for like the groups, the departments that I managed. which, also implies that I could care for young, okay? Maybe we would have adopted, who knows? But, and I've written an article to this effect, there is an evolutionary advantage to a society that accepts queer people. You might end up with gay men, testosterone dominant bodies, willing and able to care for young. Think about that. That's important. Testosterone dominant bodies that are supposedly stronger, that are supposedly capable of putting out more power in a short time. Testosterone dominant bodies that might be better at protecting the young. There's not a lot of evidence here, by the way. Go read The Stronger Sex and you'll walk away going, wow, that's all social. That sucks. But you might end up with that. Isn't that great? Now estrogen dominant bodies can reproduce. Now estrogen dominant bodies can be better supported. How great would that be? A society, and here we go, I've come to my climax. A society that accepts queer people is better than one that doesn't. Because a society that accepts queer people is evolutionarily advantageous. That is a society that accepts queer people is more likely to survive. So, here you go. What would you rather have? Do you want to put your trust in people who want to reduce the chances of our survival? Or are you willing to embrace gender and sexuality, diversity, and guarantee the survival of humanity? Come with me, because we will end up having a human race that goes all the way to the end when the sun explodes, and then ultimately the jellyfish go, oh, fuck. There we go. And that is all I had to say. Let me check some comments here. Bears with babies. Yeah, is honestly a pretty heartwarming thought. This is something Matt says. Bears, if you don't know, bears are generally sort of the stocky, you generally have people with beards. They're stocky gay men, generally with beards. Isn't that a heartwarming thought? I mean, I've known bears that I'm like, oh gosh, yeah, it's a shame you're not going to have kids because, wow. Let me see. Matt makes another really good point here, which says, what's not unnatural? Ebola, cancer, Kuru, the plague. Yeah, there's so many things that are not unnatural. And yet we end up blaming like God for that. Some people blame God. I don't. What else did I have here? Yes, menopause implies the existence of the menoresume. I guess you would expect that, right? You go, well, I've only paused it. I might hit play again. Right? I just had to get up and get some popcorn or something. I had to go, visit the loo. You would expect that. I like this. There's a few things that would have to come up here. So Margie is part of a group of 3 mothers ultimately to 1 baby. And so her point, having 3 moms for 1 baby is a better result for all involved. Yeah, I would imagine so, especially the baby. And so here's the thing. She also brings up that you have a better ratio. A single mother of triplets to, oh my gosh, to me and my 2 co-moms. I have to think about that. The more people who can care for our children, God, isn't that the better thing? You have people who are like, oh, well, we need to care for the young. But what we're going to do is make sure that we get rid of all the people willing to care for their young. That seems a bit foolish, doesn't it? Have you ever noticed how being anti-abortion is also correlated with being anti-adoption and anti-queer? Right? I mean, I do like this. Here, I'll just pop this up. If you're going to be bell ends, at least be coherent. Agreed. Well, right. And then here we go, and pro-death penalty, right? So we want to make sure not only that our children are cared for poorly, but that if they do something wrong, we're going to make sure that they ride the electric pony. So yeah, weird stuff. Weird stuff. Now, this being said, so agreed. So now Angela says, sorry, I should probably cough again. Take a drink, I guess. And then I just burped. Hopefully that wasn't audible. Oh my goodness. So Angela says, not necessarily. So this is in response to me saying that the transgender women might be better at caring for children or queer people, etc. And then Angela brings up, not necessarily. I have never had a nurturing feeling. I just accepted that I could not have children. I don't disagree. I mean, there's because there are people who are cisgender heterosexual who'll go, you know what? No, not going to happen. In fact, here you go. Star Vartan. She talks about it a lot in the book, where she goes, I don't want to have kids. I didn't want to have kids. I never never wanted to have kids. I was the same. Now that was pre-transition, and I guess again, Star may be queer as well, but here's the point. Yeah, there are plenty of people who don't want to have children. I saw that was supposed to be a problem, right? J.D. Vance was like, or was it RFK Jr.? I don't think it was RFK Jr. who was like, we need to have more children, and it's like, no, we don't. Our Earth is actually starting to show the strain of too many humans. Didn't you ever read the Gaia hypothesis and the the thing is, RFK Jr. most likely did, because he's out there going, I don't know, that's how we got worms in our brains. And all right, I'm done with him. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. So Margie says her children were all grown into adulthood when she had another baby and began her transition. Fun times. I think that's kind of cool, personally. All right, that was my point. Luckily, oh gosh, this just popped up. I mean, good point. We need to have more children means we need more white Christian children. I mean, that's accurate. Yeah, Matt brings up, most people. I'm actually now I forgot. Now I'm unsure. I want it supported, and I want it abolished under all other sets of circumstances. I'm not really sure what that means. I'm sorry, Matt. Here's what I'm going to do, though. I am going to take a break because, I think this will be the first time I did. Oh, it filtered the first part. No. Oh, what are you doing, chat? I'm going to take a break because this will be the first in like a couple of weeks, I think, where I took a break. It's a weird thing. Oh my gosh, except now I get there's a really good comment. The modern conception of homosexuality comes from eugenics, replacing any type of non-procreative acts with specifically same-sex acts. What's interesting is eugenics also focuses, I read something about this recently. Eugenics necessarily puts women specifically in the role of reproductive engine, nothing else, which is kind of a dreary thought, isn't it? You're just an engine for hi Megan. You're just an engine for producing the the ultimate human, or whatever you want to say there. Rather dreary thought. So, all right. It's 3 o'clock for me now. I'm going to take a 5-minute break, and then I swear we are actually going to play Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. I know, isn't that crazy? So I'm going to do that. I will be taking a break, and I don't know. Yeah, I'll see you in 5 minutes. I think that's about it. See you in a bit.